In this podcast episode, I'm going to break down my numbers, my online business, how I succeed, how I'm failing, how I've grown my online following over the last few years. I'm going to make this concise. I know a lot of people try and ramble. I'm literally going to give you the numbers up front and just tell you everything I need to know. Now, why am I doing this? Because a surprising amount of my audience are interested in growing an online business or online following. And I've got a decent amount who have reached out to me when I asked, and that's what they want to hear about. So I found that funny since I talk about personal development rather than growing an online business, but that's what I am requested about. I even had a coaching student who that's what he wanted help on. So, first off, let me tell you, I'm not doing that well. So, I preface that for people, but they still want to hear from me. So, I mean, here you go. So, this has always been a passion that I've tried to turn into a income source. I've never given up hope. But in terms of how much I uh, net in income, it varies from year to year, but it's usually anywhere from a few $100s per year to maybe a couple $1,000s per year if I'm lucky. Now, where does that income come from? It comes from various sources, but the main source recently has been YouTube AdSense. All my other income sources have kind of dried up in a way. But in years past, there was one year where I generated most of my income off a affiliate product. So an affiliate product is basically a product that you don't own. It's not your company or brand, but when you promote it, you get a commission at no extra cost to the customer if they purchase. So I am very picky about the products I choose, and I only promote things that I feel like the um, my my customers, my following would benefit a lot from, and I've used myself. So I've only promoted a few things, and the one thing that's taken off, but has now died off, was Blinkist, which was a book summary app service where it would summarize uh, nonfiction books. And then that died off, and now I've been trying to find other sources. Now, that's most of my income. I get a minority from other sources, which include essentially other affiliate sources. So, Amazon Associates has been my most stable over the last few years. I mean, I think I've been doing this blog and my YouTube channel for about almost 8 years now, around since end of 2014. And I've always just been a fan of personal development and all the aspects of it. And the thing with Amazon Associates is the commission is just very little, and you need a lot of traffic to make any money from it. But I've always just used it because, I mean, there's a lot of books that I recommend, and so I go to through the extra effort of creating affiliate links for those books that I recommend because books is what I love. But it is by far definitely not the most profitable industry. Um, for me, as a student of online business, I've probably consumed thousands of hours of YouTube videos, free content, and then probably 100 hours or so of paid online courses and content. So I have a lot of knowledge in this space, and I know for sure that there's plenty of other industries and affiliate industries like tech. You know, if you're promoting laptops or phones, um, or finance, or even like high-end luxury products, there's plenty of other affiliate programs out there that make a lot more money. But this is just what I'm passionate about. I've tried a bunch of other stuff. I think one thing I don't like is unsolicited advice. I get a lot of advice from like random YouTube subscribers or just on occasion. I think my blog audience is a bit better, but on occasion I'll get a blog audience member, and then they clearly have no following, no success of their own, But unsolicited, they just give me advice. They're like, oh, you need to do this. You need to work on your YouTube thumbnails and so forth. Now, some of that advice is sound, but more often than not, they have a lot of assumptions that are not sound, such as I've never heard that advice before. That's not true. Or they go beyond that and they give advice that's their opinion that I've never heard from credible experts that I've invested my money in. So that's annoying, but I do get that. Or they say stuff that I've already heard or they've tried, or they're making a bunch of assumptions about me or my motivations or how I make money that aren't true. For example, they assume that I should continue doing research and create content on study tips because that's how my most popular video. It was a video like 5 years ago that got 1 million views on study tips. What they don't know is like, hey, I don't like making content like that. And I've expressed this numerous times to my following. They missed those videos. I've made tons of study content already. They missed those. So they're like, oh, you should make more study content. They missed the fact that I've already tried all that and it hasn't taken off. And I don't find that much passion in it. So there's a lot of unsolicited advice that I don't like. Now, why haven't I really taken off when I've had probably more theory and knowledge about building an online business than everyone else? I have an email list. It has 1,500 subscribers, and it used to have like 5,000, and it was growing rapidly, but I actually ended up deleting a lot of those subscribers because I was paying for them and I realized most of them were never opening my emails. So you have to continue to cleanse and delete your list and not have list ego and just look at the numbers. It's really about the people who open your emails, click, and actually take action. So that's another big part. I'll cleanse my list probably every quarter or every half year. And if someone hasn't opened like the last 10 of my emails, or at least, that's a bad sign. That's a sign that they should be removed because I'm paying per subscriber. So I have all this knowledge, and why am I not doing well? I think part of it is niching down. One thing that I have failed to do and tried many times to do, but I just can't because I like so many passions and I haven't found a niche yet that really hits home. So I tried to niche down to personal development for Asian American millennial men. That said, I think that was still too broad, and by that point, I had already attracted an audience of all sorts. In fact, I think a good portion, maybe even a majority at this point of my following, are not Asian. They're not. Most are American, but many are not American, and a good portion are not men. So that's another part of the issue, and a lot of my content was just applicable to all. And I thought, niching down that would help, but it was just not enough. Now, I still did attract some Asian American millennial men, but it's just a mishmash sometimes because some of my content is just the topic is broad enough, and even with that, it's just like personal development is still so broad. So when I wrote about all these different things, productivity, habit formation, mindset, limiting beliefs, and so on and so forth, business and making money, it was just all over the place. And one of the most common pieces of advice you'll get in this space from gurus is the riches are in the niches. So you really have to find a sub niche, one skill set, one topic. So what I really should have done is done something like, hey, I will help young students still in high school who are men improve their productivity so that they can increase their grades to straight A's or at least one grade level above within 30 days while only working a little bit harder. Now that's a very specific niche. I could probably even go further and say Asian American students. But that's the level of specificity that you need to really succeed. And I'm telling you, I've had the chance, either through reaching out online through social media or purchasing courses or programs, to talk to very successful online business owners of various industries, and they will keep repeating that the riches are in the niches. However, I've yet to really find my stride there. I hate niching down because I have so many interests. But that's something I've always experimented with doing and will continue to until I find a niche that I'm actually passionate about and can actually deliver a lot of value towards. So that's that. Now, the email list is probably the most important. People don't realize it, but for those who are good in online marketing, they know that the majority of your sales will come through emails. Yes, still to this day, there's been a lot of myths debunked, debate, and evidence shown that despite how new age and social, with all the stuff like social media, every year emails still deliver the most. So that's why if you really start getting into the world of online business, you'll hear the term email list thrown out a lot, because everything, social media, blogs, podcasts, they often always drive towards signing up for their email list, because that's really where they're making most of their money. Now, yes, you can still make money straight from social, straight to your product, especially if you're selling a low ticket thing, or you're in the fitness industry, or you have a lot of traffic. But it just depends. There's different business models. If you're not like a high traffic player, generating millions of views off some traffic source like YouTube, oftentimes it ends up going to an email list. Now, for me, even though I've known that probably before most people do, I've had struggle monetizing this list. Now, I do have to give credit for myself. I still built a list of 1,500 people. Now, how did I do this? How did I do all that? Well, like I said, I'm not the expert at this. There's tons of people out there already talking about this who are better, but y'all requested to hear from me. So I will say, like, first off, know about the other online business marketing experts like Pat Flynn of Smart Passive Income. He literally has like dozens upon dozens of blog posts on the best places to put your email opt-in to get the most emails, or how to increase your email rates, or how to get more people sign up for your list, and all this stuff. So there's tons of strategies. I mean, part of it depends on where you're generating traffic from that's working. So if it's social media, then you usually drive people to go to your description or a link in the bio, and you offer something of value on a landing page so that they join your email list. So it's usually like a cheat sheet, a video tutorial, some type of gift. So that's usually how you get them on your list. But as far as your website, first off, you need to generate traffic from your website. But from there, there's a lot of places you can put it, but it's usually the most high leverage areas where a lot of traffic sees and you have a really good offer. So that includes a pop-up box, it includes your homepage, it includes your navigation menu, and includes your most traffic pages on your website. So yeah, I said that because I definitely know one of the people on my email list asked me specifically about those questions. So I wanted to answer his question on this podcast on growing an online business. So while it is very complicated, I think it ultimately comes down to traffic and conversion. Have you found a way of generating a lot of traffic? And usually you do that by offering a lot of value in a unique way, usually on social media or maybe your website if you're doing the SEO route. It has to be valuable, it has to be unique, because people are only consuming your content because there's some level of value, emotional or informational or entertainment. Now, the other piece is conversion, and it really helps if you have a really good product or gift or free offer or cheat sheet or ebook that you're selling or offering. And that's how you get them on your email list. That's how you get them to purchase. Now, I think it's easier said than done. For me, I've tried a lot of things. I've always been hesitant to promote too much on my list. And looking back, I probably under promoted. I've had people tell me that they have no idea what I'm selling on my email list because I do it so little. Um, or, I just, when I do promote, I don't get sales. So I probably push an offer maybe only a few times a year. So I definitely need to promote more stuff. Most of the time when I'm writing emails, it's pure value. So I just write about a story, experience, a knowledge bomb from something that I learned or acquired through, hours of studying successful people every week. That's what I share on my newsletter or from my own experience. Now, in terms of converting and selling, part of it has to do with copywriting, which is a very key skill set for online business. People make a living copywriting, and I've done some freelance copywriting on the side for fun, where people pay me to do that. Now, what is copywriting? Is essentially using your words to sell, and it's different from just regular writing because um, selling is an art. Selling is a art form. So how do you use the right words to be persuasive? It's stuff like mentioning the benefits rather than the features. Things like that tap into consumer psychology. And so part of why you may not be converting and why I haven't been converting is not enough frequency of promoting products. And I think the aversion to that for me is just a lot of people over promote. You may have seen it, but I've definitely opted into a lot of email lists where they're pounding you every day with email to the point where I have to decide to either put them into my spam folder, unsubscribe, or from the get-go, I preemptively put them into my secondary email where all the spam or my promotional emails go. So they do that because it works and it generates a lot of sales, but I think it also causes some side effects because you're basically burning your list. But I mean, what do I know? For them, it works and they make a lot of money emailing every day. But I don't know. I feel like every day is too much unless you have some really big promotion that you are pounding. So that's part of it. And I think another one is just not finding the right match of an offer that's really beneficial and a no-brainer for my audience and something that they want to buy. Some things I've tried include Tai Lopez's program, which I did many years ago for a short period of time. And that one was okay, but I didn't really, I ended up just pulling it because I think the brand went a little downhill. So I wasn't trusting of it anymore. I also am a huge proponent of masterclass.com, which is a series of online courses from experts. That's something that I still promote heavily, but it's just something that never really converts much. Or maybe I'm not driving enough traffic. It's kind of a mix of the two. Because, like, let's say you have a list of 1,500. For me, only 30% opened. So now we're already down to like 500 who opened that. And for me, that's good. For others, that's bad. And I know there's people who get a lot higher open rates than me, and it varies depending on industry. But you're already down to 500 people who may skim the message. And then of those 500, maybe only 1% click through. That's pretty typical for me. So now you have 5 people who make it to the masterclass landing page. And usually the conversion rates to sale are 1% or 5% if you're really good. So I don't drive enough traffic to the products I promote because I don't have enough traffic. I'm not getting enough people to click to even get them to the point where they are considering buying. So that's another issue. Traffic, although to others, maybe people reading my blog, they may think I have a lot of traffic because they can't tell. I don't have my site traffic number on a site anywhere. But my website probably generates nowadays around like 10,000 monthly visitors. At one point it was higher, probably like 50,000 to 100,000 at one point. But things ebb and flow. Things that used to do well don't do well anymore. And traffic's also very subjective because just because you get a lot of traffic, if it's the wrong traffic, such as traffic going to a random blog article where they're just looking for quick information and then they're bouncing away, doesn't usually equate to them opting in, or even if they do, the intent of that audience doesn't match with one that would want to buy something. For example, probably had some posts that got a lot of views at one point many years ago on just random topics like uh, I did one on um, habit formation and habits of billionaires and habits of millionaires, and those did decent in terms of traffic, but it's very broad traffic, and yeah, it's really about how do you like pull that in, because let's say I had a blog article that got a lot of views for style and fashion, and yet I'm promoting personal development products. It just wouldn't make sense even if they opted into my email list. So it's that type of stuff that's tough, you know. And so when you get like 10,000 views a month, and then like only a portion of them are relevant, and only a portion opt into your email list, and only a portion of your email list open the list, it all makes it much harder than it seems. Now, how do people succeed with small lists, making like six figures off like a list of 500 people? Well, they have found a way of niching down, putting out very unique content that those 500 people are very engaged. I'm betting that those engagement numbers are abnormally high, like 80% open rate or something. But nowadays you can't count on people opening your emails that much. But it really depends on your content and the industry you're in. And so those are the things that I promote. It's mostly Amazon Associates products. Occasionally I'll find something that I really like that I'll promote as well. It has an affiliate program. Like I promoted Mindvalley's courses a couple times. And that's mostly it. I usually don't go crazy with the promotion because, I don't want to uh, annoy my audience. But looking back over the several years, I've never gotten a complaint about that. So perhaps I'm underselling it, but I also think I haven't found the right product yet. Now, what about creating my own products? I've tried that. I've gone through Pat Flynn's business validation course actually, and I actually was able to create a couple courses, one on productivity, one on speed learning, and then there's one that was still in construction on kind of uh, not procrastinating and finishing things and getting things done. Now, those courses probably sold like one or two copies each, so barely any sales. Um, but I think people forget that I'm not just doing this for the money. It's a big passion of mine to talk about these things, but it's also a passion to really help out others and make the world a better place. And what I found are like my customers, I'm so grateful for them. And some of them I've been able to kind of connect with deeper and learn more about. And they are not Asian American millennial men. Some are, Caucasian women who are older. And it's just interesting, and I'm so appreciative of every single person for me. So I think that's something that's unique, or people assume that's wrong, which is, oh, this guy, oh, it's just about the money. It's not about the money. Just helping one person is very fulfilling for me. So that being said, I think my goal is still, financial freedom, location freedom, and so forth. So money is still a part of it. It's not everything, but it is the lifeblood of a successful business. So right now, just by happenstance, unfortunately, probably this year will be a low year for me. My business will probably barely net $1,000, not even net. That's revenue before expenses, and a good portion of that is just through AdSense. Now I've been really focusing hard on YouTube because that's I think where the opportunity was at the time. Um, and I've been investing in thumbnails, editing, stuff that I wasn't before, YouTube courses. But it hasn't panned out yet. I really upped my storytelling, video editing, the way I make my videos, but it really hasn't yielded that much more views. I did go from like 50 views on average to about 500 on a good day, but it doesn't really, it seems like a 10x, but it really didn't change the AdSense. And AdSense is never something I wanted to rely on because most people say that's like the least controllable and lowest contributor to your income. It's just that I haven't found my niche and my groove yet to really let the products blow up. In fact, I think for the existing products, they're too broad. It's just a productivity course. I mean, it has to be rebranded somehow as something like productivity courses for students in college looking to get better grades in 30 days or less using a new method. Something like that, you know. It has to be a new opportunity and very niche down. So there's a lot of work that I need to do that I still haven't figured out yet. But as far as time I put into this, it's clearly shown that it's a work of joy, passion, meaning, helping others. Because I mean, just count the amount of YouTube videos and articles I've done. I've done over 2,000 YouTube videos on that personal development channel alone. Just search Will Chow on YouTube and you'll see it. And that's just one channel. I actually have a few other experimental channels I've tried over the years. So when you account for those, I've probably created over 4,000 videos over my lifetime. And then there's definitely hundreds of articles on this blog. So it is definitely a passion project, and SEO, all that stuff, the YouTube marketing. I have a lot more knowledge than probably 99% of people in the world on that because I've committed, I've taken action. Of the courses I've taken, I have finished them. I've invested in these things and I know all these things and I've experimented with them. And I just think part of it is just like some people have that X factor where they know how to make viral videos and they think they can explain it or teach it, but there's some X factor with how they design or edit their videos or storytell that is hard to transfer. And so, even with SEO and all this stuff, it's gotten harder with a lot of more competition. Is there still a lot of opportunity to carve out your niche? For sure, because the pie is growing. More people are on the internet than ever before. And even this year, I'm seeing tons of people go from 0 to like 1 million subscribers or followers on TikTok and YouTube. And part of me is like frustrated because it's like, wow, I spent 5 times as long trying to do that. But part of me is like respectful of them. And I know why, to an extent, I haven't done as well. They were able to follow certain things like niching down that just work. And sometimes it is just luck. They throw out some TikToks, they throw out some YouTube shorts, and it just hits. And they find a style or trend or way of doing videos that they can just duplicate over and over again and get a lot of views. So that's it for me. I'll probably never give up. Was it an easy journey? No, especially on YouTube. This isn't new news to anyone, but the comments on YouTube can get very nasty because a lot of these people are not thinking and they have the time to type out paragraphs. So they just see a video and they react and they shoot something off that's oftentimes very nasty without even the thought that the creator is actually going to read that and possibly respond. And so for someone like me who's oftentimes responding, reading the comments, it can be very hurtful. And it's oftentimes the most random things. I actually had an experimental travel channel, and some of the most simple videos, like me eating a steak or me visiting a location, they always sometimes still had a nasty comment about, oh, you're not eating the steak right or this or that. So you can almost never win. And sometimes, for me, it can get very nasty when it becomes a personal attack. So it's not been an easy journey, but I think the good outweighs the bad in a sense because um, I found a way to find meaning in helping others. But also, I feel like it's just something that I'm very passionate about. Social media, online marketing, business, as well as personal development are all big passions of mine. So that's it for now, and we'll see where this goes. This may be my last online business content for a while, or maybe I'll just end up doing just a lot more of this content. I don't know, but I do know that I have to niche down if I want to succeed, and it is still possible. And the reason I haven't lost hope and the reason you shouldn't is because every year I'm seeing people succeed off of it. So I'm like, why can't that be me? In fact, just the other day, I stumbled across someone on Twitter who started his YouTube channel 2 years ago, and he does like tech reviews and IT consulting. He netted like multiple six figures off a very small audience of about 50,000 YouTube subscribers. And he broke down how, which is like basically a mixture of things I've talked about: digital products, consulting, coaching, courses, affiliate products, sponsorships, and YouTube views. But yeah, you really just have to go get it. Go get that traffic and go get that stuff because I think the best, that's what they do. And once we get there, then we can talk more advanced strategies like sponsorships because, you know, every aspect of it, like I have a lot of knowledge in, but what I've learned is if you get all this advanced knowledge, but you're never in a stage to use it, what's the point? So, I know all these weird, random facts that are useful in the future. Like, you don't wait for sponsors to come to you. You can do that if you have a lot of views, but even if you have a lot of views, if you go out and reach out to all these products that you want to work with, that's how you get a lot more profitable sponsorships and sponsorships with brands you want to work with. So that's a random tip that could be useful. And you may go on Pat Flynn's site and you find all these advanced tips, but I would caution you to not make the mistake I make and consume all that because guess what? You're not at that stage yet. I'm not. So I can't use that yet. If I'm getting 50 views a video or 500, it's really not enough yet to bring in a sponsor's attention. And it's not the stage yet either because I need to build an audience and just promoting stuff through sponsors at my stage with such a little audience, it's just gonna scare them away. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Hopefully that answered all your questions about my online business and online following. Obviously, I can go more into depth about breakdowns and the philosophies and thinkings, but really no need to overcomplicate it right now. Keep it simple, and best of luck to you.